Good evening, everybody, and we are finally live with the Hillcrest boys basketball team and Coach Terrence Pinckney. Had some delays getting checked into the hotel room, but everything is fine now. But we are here tonight to talk about their state championship game against Midfield, a rematch from a few years ago. And Hillcrest fans, y'all check in. Y'all show your support for these guys, as tonight is going to be a breakdown about their journey to get here to the state championship game, and also previewing this championship game against Midfield tomorrow at 2:15. Let's go. And Hillcrest fans, y'all tap in, like and share. Show support for these guys. Have a word of encouragement for them throughout the show. And just make sure you tell your friends and your family. And, Coach, we're going to start with you and kind of just talk about the journey getting here through this season. Obviously, you get your star point guard back, Jamonte Stallworth, from shoulder surgery. I saw his post earlier this week. Before we get into all of that, let's talk about the journey to get here, some of the times y'all have been tested, and just the growth you have had this year. Hey, Coach, what? We can't hear you. 1 second. See if you can unmute it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I said at the beginning of the season, we started off kind of slow. We got to our first game late. We played Mary Montgomery over in the McGill tip-off. And we showed up with about 2 minutes to warm up. Started off flat, played flat the entire game, and ended up losing that game by 9. But one of the key points or highlights of that game was they still played defense and they still played with a lot of energy. We just couldn't find the hole. We couldn't put the ball in the hoop. So after that game, we kind of had our little conversation and told them that we couldn't have another game like this. The next night we played McGill and ended up winning by 2. And from there we just took off. We had a couple of up and down games during the season. I think we lost to Georgiana over in Andalusia Christmas tournament by 1. We had the lead most part of the game, and then we ended up kind of giving it away by making some crazy decisions late in the contest, taking bad shots and just coming down shooting the ball unnecessarily. And started another 5-6 game win streak after that. And then we lost to Cottage Hill over in the Robbinsdale Christmas tournament. And for some reason, they had our locker room right across the hall from each other. So after they beat us, we were sitting in the locker room, and I said, y'all just be quiet and listen. And they was having a party because they had beat us. And I said, guys, it's still November. We just getting our guys back from football. We haven't really had a whole lot of time to practice. So remember this day, because we're going to see them again. And what I try to get people to understand is, Mobile, you got to go 65 north. In order to get to Montgomery or to get to Birmingham, you got to go through Evergreen. So I told the guys, I said, they got to go through us to get to where they want to go. If they want to get to Birmingham and they want to get to Montgomery, they got to come through Evergreen. So lo and behold, we continue to play hard. Ran off about 12 games, 10-game win streak, and we played a tough Jackson in Jackson. We lost that game, and I think we had the game won because we were starting to come back. And we had a guy at the table, and the referee didn't call him in, and he walked on the court, and they gave us a technical foul. And at that time, Jackson was up 2. So they go to the line and make the 2 free throws and go up 4, and then they get the ball and score and go up 6, and I think we ended up losing by 8. But after that contest against Jackson, I told the guy, the way we're playing, it's going to be hard for us to beat. And I made a vow to the guys that I was going to start playing everybody. So for the next 10 or 12 games, we started this 5 in, 5 out, which worked for us because we wore people down. Um, and we started winning games by 12 and 15 points. We didn't have another close contest until we played Houston Academy, who we ended up beating by 10 in the sub-region game. And of course, we went to Montgomery, we took care of Pike County, and then we got our rematch. And everybody knows the outcome of that. So we ended up winning the region again for the second year in a row, defeating Cottage Hill. So the game that they won in November didn't matter. We got the win when it counted. So we go to Birmingham in the Final Four and take care of Geraldine Tuesday night. So now we get our rematch with Midfield. And this is what we want. And we're right where we want to be. The guys are excited. They're locked in. Even in practice, as coaches, we don't even have to say much. They're doing everything that we ask of them. There's no backlash, no rebuttals. Everybody's, chimed in and doing what we ask of them. So I can tell that these young men are focused and they're eager to give Evergreen something that we've been waiting for a long time, and that's that blue trophy.
And Coach, go to Detroit because he's been there with y'all a lot this year. But on Facebook, everybody says Hillcrest League.
We on the interview.
Y'all beat Cottage Hill. Y'all get those rematch, and now y'all are facing a midfield team that left a bad taste in y'all's mouth a few years ago. But talk about obviously you got to hear Cottage Hill, making noise in the locker room, beating y'all in November. And we all saw that game. I remember talking to a few Hillcrest people saying, hey, we're going to see him again. We should have beat him. And y'all did when it mattered. So just going through that game, what was kind of your message before y'all played Cottage Hill and after, just to make sure, hey, stay humble. We still got more to play for.
Who was that question for?
For you.
Tell him his mic low.
I can't hear you. Your mic was low.
Oh, one second. Let me fix this. All right, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
So after you talk about y'all beat Cottage Hill, y'all get a rematch against Midfield from a few years ago. But what was your message before that game against Cottage Hill about kind of remaining humble, and after the game as well about you got still more to play for?
Um, it wasn't much I had to say. The guys kind of talk to themselves, talk to each other as a group, and they said, we beat Cottage Hill, okay, but our mission is still incomplete. We want to go win the blue trophy. Um, you know, we had won the Andalusia tournament about 3 years in a row, and we lost this year for the first time. We didn't play in the championship game in the Andalusia Christmas tournament. But the guys were like, that doesn't matter to us because we want to win state. So they're being locked in since day one. Since we started practicing at the football season, we got all our guys back. They have been locked in since day one. Um, I can't speak enough. Um, and as a coach, I just sit back and kind of watch. I have to sometimes.
Oh, 1 second, Coach. They muted their mic. We lost you.
Yeah, they need to unmute it. Yeah. Okay.
I say for the most part, they hold one another accountable, and we just work hard every day in practice, getting better at what we do. We don't focus a lot of time on what the other team is doing. We focus more on what we need to do and adjust the little minor mistakes we made in the previous games. We may go through a scout report on what they do initially. For the most part, I'm just letting these guys go out and do what they love to do, and that's play basketball. So it's been an enjoyable ride for me because in the past I've done a lot of teaching X and O's, and with this group here, they've been with me for the last. Some of them have been the way out, but seniors have been with me for 4 years, so they know what I expect. They know my temperament, and they know when I get on to them, it's not because I'm being mean. It's because I love them and I know they can do better. So um, with that win against Cottage Hill, like I say, it gave us what we wanted. It gave us an opportunity to get back to where we wanted to go, but the job is not complete until tomorrow afternoon.
And coach, introduce these guys beside you. I know you got Jordan, you got Trey, you got Jamonte, but introduce these guys beside you, and just kind of let everybody know who they are. I know Jamonte's over there eating, has his mouth full a little bit.
Okay, well, right here next to me is Jamonte Stallworth, number 2, senior guard. Um, one of our leaders, the captain of our team, and one of the leaders. Next to him is Jordan Bonner. He's what we call our secret assassin. People don't think that he can shoot it, and they kind of underestimate him because of his size, but then he proves them wrong. And he's been doing that since the Houston Academy game. He stepped up big time when JT Barlow went out. He had stepped his game up to another level, and I am proud of him. Never thought that he would come out and play the way he's been playing this year. And to my right is Mr. Robert Trey Simpson. Skinny Penny is what I call him. Um, number 0, our big guy, and he's our I don't know what to call him because he does pretty much everything. He can bring it down, he can post up, he can shoot the 3, he can put it on the floor, he can squat the dribble. So these 3 young men, along with the other 9 guys we have been doing an exceptional job for the Hillcrest basketball program this year.
And I'm gonna throw it over to Detroit because he's been running his program this year, not just announcing, but keeping up with you guys and being crucial for us. I think he's still there. Hopefully he is. But if everybody watching from Hillcrest, wherever you're from, represent your
Yeah,
school. All the Hillcrest fans watching, post some words of encouragement. We're going to show them the show later on. And those represent Hillcrest you the best you know how. But Detroit,
Coach. Good evening, good night, or whatever. It's nighttime now. How you doing, man?
I'm good, and you?
Man, we making it. Coach, I just want to go back and talk about what the schedule this week. And of course, leading up into these playoffs. I called that game against Cottage Hill, and I remember looking. It was going in the fourth period, and I told Pastor Jackson, I said, we're down 7. I said, we got ourselves a little hole. And, if you notice that game, it was kind of like a game of runs. We would go on a little run, and then College Hill would squeak back in, and they would go on a run. We squeak back in. But, man, we come back out in that fourth period. And I remember Javante hitting a big 3, and Jordan Bonner hit a 3. And I want to talk about one kid that we don't have on the show tonight that I thought really turned that whole game around. I think I alluded to this, and I texted you about this, was Alquan Richardson. I mean, he had 3 big defensive rebounds that really turned that game over in our favor. I don't know if you call or remember that, but I just thought that was a huge turning point. I just want to talk about, Abel, when you win that game, the mindset going forward. When you beat a good Cottage Hill Christian team, let's just be honest, they're a really good basketball team. And when you beat a team like that, you know, it gives you a lot of courage to go further, but at the same time, you have to keep the mindset as, next team up is going to be just as good. So how do you do that after beating a team like Cottage Hill, who beat you early in the season? How do you keep the focus on to the next game in the playoffs?
Well, like I told Andrew earlier, when you have a group of young men that understand what's the goal, and pretty much it wasn't something that I made the goal. Is what they did as a group. They came together and they said last year after we lost here in the Final Four that they were going back to Birmingham and we was going to come back and win state. So from that point, from February of last year until now, they've held true to their word. They've done everything that we've asked of them as a coaching staff to do. Um, they get to practice every day. They working hard. Like I say, we spend maybe 2 hours of practice every day. And those 2 hours, we going hard. For 2 hours, we going hard. We're getting it in. And just keeping them, they're keeping themselves humble. They know what's at stake. They want a state championship. They want to make history for Hillcrest. They want to change the culture at the school. And one of the ways of doing that is by winning. And when you win, you see the whole morale of the school goes to another level. And I think once we win tomorrow night, um, it's gonna be big for the whole community of Evergreen and Connecticut County.
Coach, What's the schedule been like this week? You get a big win against Geraldine in the Final Four. How has it all just worked out for you guys this week? What's the schedule look like for you all week long, with being in Birmingham and
So
having to
we
travel and all?
so we played on Tuesday. Um, we stayed and watched a little bit of the who was that we stayed with? Georgiana game. So after Georgiana played in the 1A game, we left and went back to Evergreen. The kids got up Wednesday morning. All of them came to class, came to school. They went to their classes. We had a practice Wednesday for about an hour and a half. Got some shots up. Went over some stuff that midfield does, and we watched the midfield something central game. And this morning we came in. They got to school at 7:30. And they went to homeroom, they reported, and then they came down to my room and we watched the Something Central game again. And then they went into the gym and shot a couple free throws. And then we ate breakfast. We did our little spirit walk and loaded up on the bus and headed back up. We got here about 2 o'clock. 2:30, we went in and watched the end of the Enterprise Huntsville game. And then we left there and went over to Minor High School and practiced for about an hour and a half. And then we came back and watched the Georgiana game.
Yeah.
And now we're in the hotel about to check into we checked into our rooms. So as soon as we finish this interview, the guys gonna go into their rooms and we're gonna go and shower up and all that good stuff and get fed, and then we're gonna get ready to shut it down for the night and get ready for midfield tomorrow.
Coach, Coach, would you say playing a schedule like you guys played? Jackson, obviously they're in the state championship. Georgiana just won the state championship. You played in that Andalusia tournament that Coach Mickles puts on every year. Really tough tournament. I think Enterprise was in that tournament. You guys were. Georgiana, Andalusia had a good team this year. Do you think it's an advantage when you play in those tournaments against teams like that, going further down the road? Do you think it helps you guys out?
Definitely, because you get a chance to play high level basketball. You get to see what other teams around, not only in our area, doing, but across the state. What was good for us was that we had an opportunity to play in 3 different tournaments this year. And each one of them was real competitive. Like I say, we lost to Mary Montgomery the first game of the season, and Mary Montgomery made it to the Elite Eight. They lost to Enterprise. We beat a tough 6A McGill team who made it to the sub region. And we, like you said, Georgiana just won the 1A state championship. Highland Holmes is playing for the 2A state championship, and we're playing for 3A. And we had Jackson and Andalusia. We played both of those guys, and Jackson is playing for the 4A state championship. So um, we played some competitive teams along with some teams in Mobile such as Blunt and McGill that are very good and competitive. So this schedule has been a tough schedule for us. We played Park Crossing, who also was in the Andalusia tournament, and I think they lost in the Sweet 16 or so. So all of these games that we played has gotten us prepared for this moment here.
And coach, before we throw it over to those young guys beside you, talk about your coaching staff and just the guys you're helping you this year. I know one pretty well, and that's Jermonte's dad, Jermaine Stallworth. I just actually texted him and told him to get his butt down there with y'all. We'll see if he's not camera shy. But just talk about the coaching staff you have this year that's kind of helped y'all on the way as well.
Well, I only have two guys helping me, which is one is Jermaine Stallworth, who is Monte's father, and my good friend Eric Wiltshire, who's my JV coach. He also is my assistant coach. So those two guys kind of run practice. I kind of set the schedule, and then they take the guys, and when we go split, Jermaine always takes the guards, and Coach Wiltshire always takes the post guys, and they kind of work those two positions individually as a group. So, like, they make my job a whole lot easier. Jermaine does a great job of scouting. I mean, before I can get home to Mobile, he's already sent me a list of the other players, their points per game, the averages, and coach, he can't go left, and he can't do this, and he can't do that. So all through the day, Jermaine is texting me information about the team that we're about to play. And that makes my job a whole lot easier because I already know when I watch film what to go look for. Right. So that the work that they do allows me to do the job that I do. It helps so much. How you doing? Good to see you. And so those two guys do an exceptional job with these young men, and the young men take everything that they tell them. And Jermaine kind of helps me a lot to know what's going on in the community because he's in Evergreen all the time, and I'm in Mobile. So if there's something going on, he'll call me like, Coach, you need to talk to the guys because I'm hearing this, or this is what's going on, and they don't need to be going out, they don't need to be doing this. So he's kind of my eyes and ears when I'm not around, along with some other people.
And Coach, I want to throw it over to Jamonte Stallworth first. And Jamonte, we saw, got to see your post on Facebook, the injury you went through. Obviously, took you out of football season this year. You're the starting quarterback, one of the leaders in that team. You actually were the mascot. I remember seeing a post on Facebook. I remember seeing the post on Facebook this year talking about the Hillcrest quarterback has an arm, but they didn't realize who it was in the mascot uniform. But you were around your team this year. You're a crucial leader for the Hillcrest basketball team, and got to see your post on Facebook. But just talk about what this team's meant to you this year and y'all's journey just to get to this point.
Well, obviously the team mean a lot to me because like we all grew up together from East from like since we were very little kids, like 4 years old. We always played football together, baseball, basketball. Like we just always been together since kids. And like when I had my surgery, I was in the sling. I was there with them everywhere. When we went to Birmingham, I think we went to Birmingham twice actually.
And
Yeah, we went to Alabama A&M. And I was just always there. I was always supporting them. 'Cause I know they would have did the same for me.
And we saw you posting there telling me there's only one goal. And how have you, kind of embraced this team, I guess, and put your goal towards them, saying, hey, this is what this potential we have. This is what we have to do. This is how we're going to be able to do it.
What was that question?
How have you kind of helped this team along the way of saying, hey, our goal is state title. Here's how we're going to achieve it. And this kind of your leadership for this team.
Well, that just comes with not letting nobody um just take practice as a joke. Make sure everybody going 100%, 110%, holding everyone accountable, even myself. Is just making sure everyone come in and get the job done, but everyone pretty know like what like what the task is. So ain't too much have to be said in practice.
And Coach Penny said it best, and you just did it as well. He talked about this team, being able to sit, if he's not at practice, he's able to sit aside and have y'all just run practice yourselves. What does that say just about y'all as a team that people may not know about?
It's just our chemistry. Like I said earlier, like we've been with each other since 5, 6, and until now. Like our chemistry go a long ways. Like we ain't never split up. Is that we always been a team. So we know what this person can't do, what that person can't do. And like we all just and then we all stay like that's why our second group called the Holland Green team. Everyone in that group stays in Holland Green. So
And we've seen a lot of posts. I'm going to throw to Detroit next. We've seen a lot of posts on Facebook just about you guys. A great group. A lot of outstanding kids in the classroom, on the court. A lot of younger kids I see, wanting to get your autograph and want to put on your jersey. Or, kids just want to come watch y'all play in the state championship game. What would be your message to them, these younger kids coming up in the Hillcrest basketball program, or some kids in the area that may not, realize that they'll be at Hillcrest later on?
uh something I tell them to do and start now is just work on your game and prepare yourself to be in my shoes years from now. Just
I'm
work on your game. Just work hard. Well, without that work, you ain't gonna make it nowhere.
And I'm going to tell the kids something now. If y'all got to fill these three guys' shoes on the screen right now, you got some big shoes to fill later on. But I'm going to throw it over to Jordan next. And Jordan, you're kind of a kid. Like Coach Penny said, it's kind of been underrated. We hear about Jamonte, hear about Trey, hear about some other guys, but you've kind of shown up in the postseason in a big role. And that's what me and Coach Jermaine talked about the game that y'all had against Cottage Hill. what has been your mentality? Might not be able to start this game, or might have to come off the bench this game. What's kind of been your mentality about? Okay, here's my role. I got to embrace it.
Like I just play my role. I just know when I get in the game, teammates they depend on me sometimes to make plays. Yeah, that's what I do.
Shoot that, honey.
I know I'm a spot up shooter. I'm good at it, so I just get to my spot, knock it down.
Yes. Keep doing it.
But Detroit, I'm gonna throw it over to you.
This is a question for all three of you guys. After last year, it was midfield who beat us last year, right? In the Final Four, kind of put us out. And what has
Mm-hmm.
it meant for you guys ever since that happened, like to get back to this point and to have another opportunity at those guys? What has it meant? Whoever wants to go first, it don't matter. What has it meant for you guys to get back to this situation after that? And Coach, you can relay on this too if you want.
Well, for me, um, it allows me to go back and look at the progress that we've made. You know, last year was my first year as the boys' head coach, so no one expected us to be in the Final Four. And we made it that far with limited experience. I had 6 seniors who didn't play as a junior at all. So we had 6 guys on the team who hadn't played any varsity basketball. So that spoke volumes just for that. Not knowing the situation and not understanding what was going on, to be able to have a group of young men to make it to the Final Four and have a group of seniors who hadn't had any varsity experience. And then coming back this year, um we had six guys coming back who were on the varsity team, but out of those 6 guys, we only had 3 who had game time experience. So with all of those obstacles, we made it back to the Final Four. So that speaks volumes to these young men that they bought into what I was teaching, and they added what I was trying to teach to their game. And each one of them, helps us in their own way. Like Jordan said, for him, his thing is just be ready. And that's what I keep preaching to the guys. You never know when your time is gonna come, so you got to be ready. And for him, he knows when he goes in the game what I expect. I got 2 guys that's in the game. I tell them, when you go in, I don't want you to do nothing. Catch and shoot. If you dribble, you coming out. And they understand that. So sometimes you'll see 2 guys standing in the corner. You be like, why he ain't dribbling? Because they know if they don't do what they're supposed to do, they're gonna come out. So everyone has bought into what their job is and what they need to do for us to obtain the overall goal, which is for everybody to win. We've learned to put the we over me. And I think early on in the season, a lot of them were playing for personal accolades instead of the team accolades. And when we started putting the whole team over our own personal goals, that's when we kind of took off. So I'm gonna be quiet and let these young men add their 2 cents to what I just said.
All right, we'll start with Trey and then go from left to right.
Okay.
Mr. Double Double.
Mr. Double
Double
Double,
double.
what do you feel like ought to make this team better overall during the season? You want to lie?
Come on, Trey. You got this, man.
You made us
You
better.
got this.
Like,
What
look in
group
the
next
camera,
season?
man. Look in the camera.
Yep.
14,
Trey, you
22.
can do this, man. You're gonna be doing this at the next level, so you might as well come on.
Thank you, Shaq.
What made us better was like practicing. You know, practice hard. Like, you know,
Trey, look at that camera. Bro. Come on, you got this, man. Come on.
Hey Trey,
practice hard.
you got some family members on here saying you're shy, man. You come on, you got to prove them wrong.
He ain't shy. He be acting silly all the time. He just acting like that now on the camera.
I'm gonna get you some chicken nuggets.
Ask me a question.
Can you ask me the question again?
What do you feel like
Yeah,
has made
Trey,
this
like
team throughout the
Okay.
season and getting to this point in the state championship?
Do me beef.
Can you ask it again?
What do you feel like has made this team better throughout the season to get to this point for the state championship?
What has made us better as a team?
What made us better as a team was like, what I said, practicing and like coming together. Like, you know,
Coach P, let me tell you something. I want you to see me when I say this. After this game tomorrow, if we're gonna get you back on, we're gonna have him just by himself, no other coaches or players, just Trey to tell us a recap of the game after tomorrow.
Okay. Bet.
Yep.
Sounds
Get
good.
Put
him
him
over
on the spot.
here. That's what's gonna happen.
Put him on the spot. He got to learn how to talk.
It's always the silly ones that want to be shy when they get on
Well,
public, but it's
Coach,
okay.
look,
Right. Yes. Yes. We gonna work on
look,
Go ahead, Detroit.
him.
Coach, look, I don't want to keep y'all here all night. It's 9 o'clock. I know you guys got to get some rest for a big game tomorrow. What's your one message to the fans, to Connecticut County and all the fans around before tomorrow's big game? What would be your message to them? I know they're going to show up, but what would be your message as a coach to that home fan base?
To the fan base, we want to thank you all for all that you have done, all the support that you have shown throughout this season. Everywhere we go, we know we are supported because it's a packed house. Y'all never let us down. Y'all always cheering us on. Y'all let us know what we're doing wrong and what we need to do right. So we appreciate the constructive criticism, and we appreciate all the love that you all give. Um, for me, it's not about me. It's about these young men. So everything that I do it for them. Um, but I just want to say to the city of Evergreen and Connecticut County, we're not finished. We're not finished. And we appreciate y'all for coming out every night, supporting us, coming up Highway 65 all the way to Birmingham. I think we've had the biggest crowd maybe in the Super 7 um, thus far. And I know tomorrow night is not going to be any different. We're going to dress it out in red. We're going to pack out the BJCC. We're going to bleed it out. And we're going to let midfield know that when you play Hillcrest, you're not just playing Hillcrest, you're playing the whole city of Evergreen.
And Coach, before we start closing it out, I want to ask you this question. You kind of admitted to it earlier, but I want to just kind of get some more depth. You said, it's we over me, and usually, and Miss Pam, I was about to ask that question too. So the pet band's gonna the best pet band. Hopefully, they can make the trip there to Birmingham tomorrow too. But how have you kept this team kind of grounded? Usually when teams get to this position, they beat teams handily or got their lick back on somebody else. They start getting kind of they start getting up there about, hey, we're the team now, we're the team to beat, all this good stuff. But how have you kept this team grounded to say, hey, we're not finished yet. Make sure you stay humble, don't get too cocky. What's been your message to these guys?
Um, I kind of let them celebrate a little bit, and then I let them know, I said, man, y'all, we hadn't done nothing. Doing what you supposed to do, you know? You supposed to beat that team. You supposed to beat this team. You supposed to beat that team. This team is not better than us. Although we lost to them, they're not better than us. We just made some mistakes. So correct the mistakes and fix it. And guys, when y'all play together, can't nobody beat us. We're a better team together than we are individuals. So that's been my message pretty much to them. We play the best. We play the best other team in practice. I figure that I stay firm to that. I feel that my 12 guys, my guys that come off the bench, who Monte called the Highland Green boys, they can go to another school and probably be started. That's how confident I feel about this team. Those gentlemen that come off the bench could go to any other 3A school and possibly be started. So when we practice, we're practicing against the second best 318, our second group when we practice. So we just make sure we stress to each other that no game is gonna be harder than practice. Practice is gonna be hard. We're gonna practice for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But for those 2 hours, we're gonna practice as hard as we can. And when you get to the game, it's gonna be easy. So that's what we've been doing. That's what we show. When I put that Highland Green group in, It's not because I'm trying to experiment. It's because I have faith in those young men. They work just as hard as the first group to, to gain playing time. So I give them that opportunity. And my message to them is, all right, I'm gonna play you, but what you do on the court determines how much you play. If y'all go out there and stank it up, then I'm gonna go back to my 7 or 8. But if y'all playing good, we gonna keep it going. And for the most part, they responded. They played well. I think the one game kind of got us in trouble was the Cottage Hill game, and people questioned me about why I was subbing 5 in and 5 out. But I think in the fourth quarter, it showed why I was subbing 5 in and 5 out because they were dead. In the last 2 minutes, they didn't score a bucket, and that's what helped us become victorious in that game. We held them scoreless the last 2 minutes, and we took off. So, as long as these young men continue to believe in me, thank you. As long as these young men continue to believe in what I'm doing, and I'm giving them the opportunity to showcase their talent, because that's what it's about. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep doing it. And to the community and the city of Evergreen and all surrounding areas, this is not our last time coming here. We're gonna be back again next year. I actually feel Hillcrest has an opportunity to win 6 or 7 state championships in a row. That's just how I feel about this group of young men and the group and the kids that's coming behind them. Everybody's buying in. They hungry. They want it. And it's bad when you in PE and you got kids coming, not going to lunch because they want to come in the gym and shoot. So that speaks volumes to what we're doing. So we're trying to change the culture and change the atmosphere around the city. And I think through basketball, we're gonna get it done along with football. So it's just gonna breed all over to the other sports. You're gonna see Connecticut County and Hillcrest starting to become dominant again like it used to be.
And Coach, before I throw back over to Detroit, let's dive into this game just a little bit, and then I want to go out to these players so we close it out. But looking at midfield, it's a rematch. Y'all seen this team before. Everybody knows the terms. It's just the lick back season. Y'all already beat Cottage. Now it's midfield's turn. They're the next victim, as you can call it. But what have you seen from this midfield team that really impresses you in the front, just watching them on film and just playing them tomorrow?
They have an old saying that tradition doesn't graduate. It just pulls up from the next group. So they're considered a powerhouse because they've been here on every level. They've 2A they went, 3A they've been here. So they are the standard. And I feel like this game, um, midfield is a scrappy group of young men. They play hard. They get out there on the defensive end. They're not very big, but they scrap. And you can't go in thinking just because they're small, you're gonna beat them and underestimate them. You still got to go play the game. They do a good job of taking charges. They do a good job of hitting wide open threes. So we got our work cut out. But if we just do what we've been doing and continue to do it, I think we're gonna come out victorious. But again, you still got to go play the game, and we got to play a flawless game. We got to be ready for 32 minutes to play and compete.
And I just want to say this: shout out to Connecticut County Schools. I believe they're one of the school systems that are having a virtual day tomorrow. Correct?
Yes.
So shout out to them, and that's a testament to all the area schools that are around here, because I know Jackson did it as well. But giving these kids a chance to have all day to if they want to go to Birmingham, get up there in a safe manner. Letting them out kind of later. A lot of kids try to drive too fast, get up there, eat, do all these things. But shout out to them for supporting athletics that way. And I saw a bunch of people renting vans and renting buses and getting carpools. So Evergreen's going to show up and show out regardless. But the players here on the show right now, what would be y'all's message, not just the fans, but y'all's student body at Hillcrest about coming up to Birmingham, making the trip, and, watch y'all show it on the court?
I mean, we gonna do our job. Y'all just come with the support and just come with the same energy we come with, and we gonna play our part and we gonna do what we gotta do.
Uh, just keep showing the support. We're gonna get the win for everybody, the whole community. It's the double man from the fan.
Let's get Mr. Shyman back up here.
Man,
Talk good.
just come out and support and watch me show up.
Did you hear him?
I just heard somebody say they're cute. That's what I heard.
Come and support and watch him show out.
Hey, y'all
All
heard
right,
it?
he
Yeah,
better.
heard it. He wants it. He wants everybody to come there and see him.
And see the show.
See him do that one hand though.
Coach P, did you just have some girl call them boys cute up there?
Huh?
I heard some girl walk by telling them they were cute.
Yeah, they folks keep walking by on the escalator going to their room and they coming over here getting Milo tea and so we sitting at the Milo tea thing, so they thinking we work for Milo tea. They come over here asking us for Milo tea and I'm like, I ain't no tea up in here. We just sitting here, we on the interview. And the girl, yeah, she called Trey cute.
Oh man, he's already
Oh,
shy. Y'all got to help.
Lord. So he starts smiling. You see him, don't look at him.
Hey, you got a girlfriend.
They can't help it because the girl call you cute.
Tell you saw it right now, you're gonna be in trouble, you know?
Listen, we got over 100 people watching. Somebody's gonna tell her, so you might want to call after the show's over with to let her know you apologize to her. Oh, hold on, we lost you, Coach.
Yeah, Jamonte got to keep his thing up.
Yeah, I think it's his phone might have died. Oh, his phone died, Detroit.
Well,
Hey,
we
Coach.
can wrap it up there
Hey, Coach B, try to
unless he can
refresh
get it.
the screen at the top right real quick, and we might be able to get your sound back. I don't know if he can do it or not. Try to refresh the whole entire thing. He should be able to do it.
Look at Mr. 1000 saving the show.
I hope that works. If not, that's a bad way. It was just sitting good, Detroit. But shout out to all the fans watching. Make sure you keep representing your schools no matter where you're at, and let these boys know that you don't have the show. They can read these comments, see what y'all are saying about them tonight.
I
Let's see
think
if we can-
Jackson fans, TR Miller fans, and Hillcrest need to support each other
That's
tomorrow.
right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go.
That's right, Hillcrest. Come out and support everybody. Let's do once we get
Oh, what happened again? Coach P, you got muted again. I don't
That's
think he can
that
hear me.
Milo sweet tea.
I don't even think he can hear me.
It'll be all right.
He can't hear me. We can't hear him. Hit the refresh the screen again.
Did we get him then?
Somebody text him and tell him to refresh the screen. Xavier, text Jermaine and tell him to come in and help them guys. Oh, I did it again. Hold on. He's coming back. He was just a talking too. We couldn't hear him. He couldn't hear us at all. You never know what might happen at Powerhouse Sports at the 9 o'clock. We ain't never been on this late unless it's a Friday night. His name Turtle. Franklin the Turtle.
can you hear me now, Detroit?
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, people text me telling me they can't hear me. I said, yeah, you can't hear me because y'all keep texting and calling.
Yeah, tell him to stop calling you, man. You're on the show. We know
No,
you're famous, but we got to get our time with you too.
I don't want to be famous. I just want the money. No, I'm just playing.
I literally can make an announcement when I call the Hillcrest ball games on the radio. I can't answer my phone. I'll be broadcasting the game. I'll still have people that's listening to the broadcast be trying to call. And I'm like, I've just announced that across the air.
They don't care. You know, they want to be stubborn and try to be funny.
Right. Did you hear my last statement?
We didn't. We couldn't hear you. Couldn't hear us. Everybody on here is laughing because they say you just a talking. We didn't know what you were saying.
Right. I said, the city of Evergreen, come support. But not only us, let's support T.R. Miller and Coach Jack as he coaches his final game before he retires. and then stay and hang around and watch Jackson as they play for their first state championship for a long time. I think he said on the news it was like 80 years, 60 to 80 years since they played for a state championship in Jackson. So let's support all those teams so we can get the South back recognizing for more than just football. We know we powerhouse in football, but we trying to prove to the state that the South is not only just a football area, but we well rounded track and football. So come out and support and let us go 3 for 3 tomorrow. State championships. Actually, let's go 4 because I forgot about Highland Home.
Georgiana too.
Georgiana just won tonight, so tomorrow we got Highland Home 2A, got us for 3A, Miller 4A, and Jackson 4A. And then you got Vigue on Saturday for 5A. So we got an opportunity for the South to be well represented. Somebody going home with some kind of hardware, either red map or blue map. But we want blue. We don't want red.
Yeah, I think if Miss Pam's still watching, I think if the South goes 5 for 5, we need to have a South party at Sweet Peas for all these teams coming by and eating some food.
I'm all for it. You gotta get that okay from her.
we'll all just barge in on her, make her freak out, and trying to cook all that food.
Yeah, that'll be big though.
Oh yeah, but Coach, as always, we appreciate you and what you've done at Hillcrest. I mean, talking to these young men, you can tell the culture is changing, no matter what. And it's just what you, and not just you, but what Coach Nard has done as AD and now head football coach. Y'all 2 men leading Hillcrest and being in that school is changing a lot, more than just football and basketball. But we appreciate you as always, and good luck to y'all tomorrow.
Thank you. It definitely takes a village, and we trying to build this village so we can change these young men and young women's lives in Connecticut County. That's what it's about.
Detroit.
Coach, just good luck tomorrow. Appreciate having you on tonight. And I feel it's going to be a good day for us tomorrow. I think we're going to go in and take care of business and bring that blue map back to Evergreen. I'm excited about it.
Thank you, Detroit. I appreciate you too as well, Andrew, for all y'all do. Keep this thing going. Come out and support Jag Nation tomorrow night. Let's show up and show out, and give everybody Evergreen something to cheer about.
And I'm going to say this before we go off. It's supposed to be raining tomorrow, but you know what they say at Hillcrest, whether sunny or gray, they are going to ball and parlay. I'm
right.
Andrew Etheridge. That is Coach Terrence Payne at Hillcrest with DeMonte Stallworth, Shy, Trey Simpson, and also Jordan Bonner. And as always, that is Detroit Webb. We are Powerhouse Sports, and tomorrow we'll have updates on the games on our page. So like and share. Make sure y'all tune into this video. Share it with your friends and family who couldn't watch tonight. And watch these incredible young men as DeMonte, one of the seniors playing tomorrow, finishes his last game. Another senior on this team as well. But as always, it's Powerhouse Sports, and we will see y'all as we continue our state championship coverage tomorrow and have our Final Four and state championship recap on Saturday.
Thank you.